Hi, I'm Jessica DeVault. I'm a fashion stylist and the CEO of the Jessica DeVault Agency. Today I am at an Affair to Remember boutique in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I'm going to give you a few tips on how to choose a headpiece for your dress. Now, when buying a wedding gown, that's usually the first thing you look for. What's the best gown? What's the perfect gown? But once you found that, how do you pick a veil? Well, in this case, you need to keep four things in mind. You look for the style, the width, the length, and the color of the veil. Those are the four things you should always keep in mind when you're looking for that right headpiece. So let's get started with the basics of style and width. Now here, as you can see, our model, Lindsay Arizmendi, is showcasing a beautiful gown with really ornate detailing right here in the center near the top of the bodice. Now, with the veil, you don't want to get an equally elaborate veil. That would be too much. So remember, when you have a dress that's really ornate in detail, think simple with the veil. In this case, we have little details on the ends and the scalped ends of the veil, and that's just a nice touch just to accent the dress. Also keep in mind that the width is very important. The width of a veil can range from 54 inches to 108 inches. So it depends on if you want to cover your shoulders, as this veil does here with Lindsay, or perhaps you want to just showcase your straps or your dress or the neckline. It would be best to have your veil a little bit shorter in width. In this case, we have a very long width with this particular veil, and she looks phenomenal in it. Now, here's an example of what to keep in mind when it comes to length. Veils can vary from being very short, like shoulder length level, all the way down to the ground and covering your train, which is usually considered to be a cathedral style veil. Now, in cases of this, keep in mind that when you're getting a dress that's, say, informal like this one is, that a shorter veil that comes to the shoulder or to the elbows is usually pretty acceptable because it's a little less formal. For dresses that have really long trains, a cathedral style veil will likely be best because it just has the better impact. But most of all, always remember that your veil should never overshadow the dress. The details of the dress and the architecture of the dress should always be the focal point over anything else. Okay, so we've covered style, we've covered length, and we've covered width. Now, what happens when you don't want to wear a veil at all? Perhaps you just want to try an entirely different headpiece, like this fascinator that Lindsay has on. This is stylish and it's very trendy. Plus it goes with her dress, which is equally a showstopper all in its own right. Now, the last point that I want to make today is that make sure you understand when you're matching your veil or your headpiece with your dress, the color has to match as well. You can go on some websites and purchase a veil and they come in up to 15, 20 different colors and different shades of white. So don't feel as if you can't find it. You can always find it online if you can't find it at your local boutique. I'm Jessica DeVault, and you can find me at jessicadevalt.com.